Peace, world. What's going on? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss updates, live performances, music, etc., etc. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for joining me once again. A few things to go over today. A couple updates celebrating a milestone, and got some friends that I want to help support, and I would love if you all could try to support as well, and I'm gonna bring them in a second. But first things first, make sure you say peace in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and yeah, all of that good stuff, man. And also let me know if there's any technical stuff that maybe I'm not noticing. Give me heads up in the chat. That is always appreciated. All right. First things first. Peace. What's going on, Ice Killer? Always good to see you up in here, brother. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, man. And per usual, if you ever want to donate to the channel, you can do so via the super chat or Venmo, PayPal, etc., etc. You can always support the channel that way. But today is not so much about supporting me and my efforts. It's about supporting some friends of mine. But I do want to just point something out to y'all real quick. We're going to celebrate something real quick. You know what I mean? You could two-step wherever you are, but we're going to clap it up for this little milestone that was recently achieved. So hold on. Let me bring this up so you all can see the awesomeness. You know what I mean? We are a step closer. Bang, bang. Ladies and gentlemen, we just passed 9,000 subscribers this week. And that is exciting, man. Thank y'all so much for making it possible. I got notified via TubeBuddy, which is a great tool. And yeah, man, we're a step closer to 10,000, and that is because of y'all. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. Yeah, just super excited, man, and more to come, needless to say. But thank you, man, for the congrats on the 9K. So without further ado, we're going to jump into something else real quick. I'm going to bring some friends of mine up on the screen. They are two really awesome people who I've known for a while. One I've known a bit longer, and we know each other through music. He knew my music before we had even met. And then when we met, at Up and Up and the different places in the DMV, we just hit it off, man. And he's always been a really good dude. So apparently I'm having a syncing issue with my camera. So I'm going to try to do something real quick to adjust, and hopefully that helps. I recently updated my computer, and I don't know if that's was a good decision or not, because right now it's a tad sus. So I'm gonna see if I can fix something. I'm gonna bring my friends on, and hopefully it runs a bit smoother, and we'll get started in a second. So give me one quick sec to adjust things, and we'll see what happens. And man, shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Tommy Hackett in here from Seattle. Of course, we got Ice Killer, Ramon, and shout out to Steph. Always great to see you. All right. Word. Hey, peace. Ice Killer. Yeah, I don't use Windows. I'm using I'm a Mac guy, Apple guy all day. So but yeah, man, let's try to adjust this thing real quick. And thank you, sis. Hey, congrats to Stephanie Gale, because Stephanie Gale actually hit the 10-year anniversary of her debut album, The Sapphic Soul MP. Not EP, but LP, sorry. But yeah, man. So yeah, I know I'm gonna try to see what's up with the camera drivers a bit later, but thank you for the heads up, family. So let me bring my folks on, man, because it's not really about me today, it's about them. And we will get them in here now. All right, let's see. Peace, peace. What's going on, family?
Peace.
Hey.
What up, Stan?
Hey, good to see y'all, man. Let me adjust the screen real quick and see if I can make us a bit better. Bang, bang. There we go. And let me do one more thing. But yeah, man, how y'all doing today?
We great, man.
Good.
Thanks
Enjoying
for having
the
us
weather.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Hey,
for
man.
on.
Say again?
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for making time, man. And I definitely want to let folks know about what y'all got going on, and just let them know about what y'all have meant to me, man. So again, as I said, I know Sean Beasy through the music, and we've been on an adventure or two together, and have mutual friends in the industry and stuff. And Sean has just been one of those guys that has always been super supportive of other artists in the scene, while also doing his thing as well. And and later on, I ended up being introduced to Liz. The more I've learned about her, she's an amazing person in her own right. And yeah, man, and they are recently engaged. So clap it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Congrats to y'all. But yeah, man, I'm sorry to everyone in the chat. There's a lag. There's obviously some more troubleshooting I got to do on my end.
Better now. It looks like it's syncing up better now.
Okay, it's all right. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing my best over here.
Low latency monitoring.
Yeah, man. And you know what's crazy? I usually don't have an issue with that, but this week my computer like completely just went out, and I had to run to the Apple store to get it fixed. Updated a couple things, and certain things have been running great, but this is the first live I've done since those changes has happened. So obviously I got to reconfigure a couple more things, and we'll be back in business. But let's get into why I got y'all here today, man. So for those who don't know, earlier, I want to say it was maybe February, right, when we started the campaign?
Yep.
Okay.
Birthday.
My birthday.
Yeah. So and also happy belated birthday to Sean, whose birthday was recently, I think it was Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then Liz's birthday was in February, and that's when they launched their campaign.
February 7th.
Yeah. That's exactly a month after mine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, man. But basically, if y'all could just tell them about your campaign, and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. And then I'll speak on why, my wife and I have done everything we could to support what y'all are doing. And yeah, man.
All right. I'll let Liz start since it's her campaign.
Yeah. So basically, we started this campaign because I'm a DACA dreamer, and we wanted to raise funds to go towards the process of me becoming a citizen, which is a long process and it's super expensive. So we decided to, launch a campaign to get a little bit of help from friends, family, and strangers, whoever, to help with the costs.
No doubt.
Yep. And what I've learned through this process is they make it very difficult, and it's not just as easy as getting married and saying, well, I'm a citizen, I married her, so now she can become a citizen, which is what I thought. I feel like was taught my whole life, was told like, you just marry someone, they become a citizen. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that anymore. I don't know if it ever even did, but it's a long process, and they make it very tricky. And we found this out through an artist I work with, Footwork, going through a similar process, not the exact same, but he was denied his citizenship application, and now he's in this weird limbo place where he could be deported. He might have to go back to court and fight his immigration battle in court, which is a very scary prospect for him. And so having a front row seat to that, and then realizing that as we go through this process, we're going to deal with some similar stuff. We decided that we needed some more resources to give ourselves the best fighting chance for Liz to stay here and become a citizen, and for us to not have to deal with some of the really terrible things that a lot of families in this country are fighting through right now. So we really appreciate everybody who's donated. I think we've had over 50 donations, and we've had just as many, if not more, people share the campaign through their social media. obviously substantial, and his wife have been ultra supportive, not just in sharing it, but offering information and advice and helping us get content for it and whatnot. So really just overwhelmed by the amount of support we've gotten from our community, our friends, our family, strangers, people, people I haven't spoken to in years, like, just, feel real good about that. And it's definitely been a motivator, to get everything done and, just dive into this process that is going to take some, years.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I appreciate you all for even, just reaching out and giving my wife and I the opportunity to just try to help y'all out. Obviously, you know what I mean? Our relationship, we go back a while, and and I've been seeing Liz at the different spots we connected at over the years. And so just hearing anybody go through anything that makes their life unnecessarily difficult, and so Liz, those type of things are really frustrating, and I can only imagine what it's like for you all. I've had a lot of students from different parts of the world over the years whose fans have gone through some things. So, and I've seen some of those students actually, like when I share the posts, like, hearten the posts and stuff like that, because I'm sure them and their families can relate. So, but Liz, if we could talk a little more about you and what, just to give them a little bit of background on you, like what type of work do you do right now?
Well, right now I work for a senior move management company, and we go in and we help the seniors downsize their houses, and we prepare them for them to move on to the next stage in their life, which is move into a senior community or 55 and up communities. So it's really rewarding work, and it takes a lot of compassion and understanding to, help them through that process. So I love what I do.
Yeah, man. And it's important work, and I'm sure like a lot of the important work that goes on in this country, oftentimes it goes underappreciated. And I'm grateful that we have people like you who are willing to do that work. And like my mom is a senior citizen, and now we're kind of going through some situation with her where we're going to be ultimately forced to help her find a situation where she can be comfortable, in a facility that takes care of people like her and offers opportunities for people like her, and so she can enjoy her life where she is. So that's important work, and I'm just appreciative of the time that you've been putting in spite of the challenges that you've been going through. So I've dropped the link. Go ahead, brother.
Half therapy, half Tetris.
Yeah.
Dope.
You have to have multiple skills.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, as a guy who's toured a lot, and I'm sure Sean knows a lot, I feel like we've learned how to do the Tetris thing with getting merch in the back of vehicles. You know what I mean? In our travels. Oh, I can't hear you. Check. Can y'all hear me? Because I can hear you. Lost sound. All right. We temporarily lost them. Hopefully they'll be back in a second. But for those of you who want to support their campaign, I dropped the link in the chat. It looks like they're back. All right, let me bring them back up. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, hold on, family. Check up. 1 second. Let's switch y'all back. All right, I still can't hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me. All right, in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear them. I'm trying to see if it's an issue on my side of things. Yeah, Warpath. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to work it out. But just let me know if y'all can hear them in the chat, and then we'll go from there. If not, if it continues to be an issue, Sean and Liz, if anything, I will bring y'all. We'll just pick it up another time, maybe on a different platform. Okay, it says they can hear me, but they can't hear y'all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's all good. I'm gonna keep flying the flag for y'all. Keep letting folks know how they can support, and then we'll figure it out. All right. Okay. All right. See y'all later. All right. So yeah, man. Apologies about the technical difficulties. Just wanted to introduce you to my friends and really try to get some support for what they're doing. It's a really costly process. Full disclosure, my company that I have with my wife, has we've been brought on in an official capacity to support them. So yes, we're asking for folks to donate to their cause because it's a worthy cause, but also because of the fact that it's something that a lot of people face. I don't know if you all have seen the movie, what's the joint, In the Heights. They actually talk about a similar situation in that film. And so but they are clients of ours, so it's not completely just a personal thing. This is obviously a personal thing for us, but they are also clients of ours. So that's just us being completely honest and keeping y'all in the loop and being transparent about that. However, the cost that they break down what everything costs when you follow that link, so you can see what it is they're dealing with. All right, so real quick. Hey, yeah, that's right. I forgot that Blackheart actually knows Beezy and has met him in the scene. That's right. All right. All right, let's try to bring them back in. Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Bang, bang.
Yeah, I had to go back to the link and restart it, I guess.
Yeah, all good, all good. Appreciate y'all for not giving up.
Gang. Yeah, that's a classic picture, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Right Mind event or probably Up and Up, but something I know exactly what he's talking about though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that picture has definitely popped up a bunch of times in the past. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let me bring it back up. Hey, peace. What's going on, Roger? Thanks for tuning in. Again, sorry for any technical difficulties. My computer had to be revived this past week, and it's been real. But let's get the joint back up, and I'm gonna try to ask y'all a few more questions before I let y'all go, so I can get to these other updates. Just hold on one second. All right, let's get this up. Go gadget. Bong. So the other thing I wanted to ask, with the different costs and things, I know you all have been working really hard to raise the money. So we're not quite at the midway point for the campaign and stuff. So just let folks know what the funds go toward, because I don't think people understand how expensive this is.
We didn't either.
Pull up the list because I can't.
So a big chunk of it goes towards the lawyer fees. Mm-hmm. But there's a bunch of documents that we have to submit, and all of them are listed out by name. And Liz has to do a bunch of I
have to do blood work, and every time you submit a new document, you have to it's called biometrics. So you have to do fingerprint every time you go in to the immigration office. And what you said, lawyer fees, and every time you file an application, there's a fee. Right. And each one is different and different costs.
And it's not guaranteed either. So like some of the
No.
like you're paying application fees like in some cases to be rejected, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And luckily we were able to get a little bit of a head start on some of them. And what we're finding out now is that due to COVID and like a lot of the government stuff being shut down, that a lot of these places aren't even processing stuff. So like you can send your application in and then it just sits there for a minute. But
Wow.
I mean, there's all kinds of just forms and fees that, you know, are associated with it. Some of them are pretty big, like $1,000, $600, $500. Other ones are smaller, $80 here, and you know, $60 here, $400. Like, but it all adds up. And if you look at the very bottom, you have to kind of like keep clicking read more. But at the very bottom, we have everything itemized on there. And, you know, the biggest expense, probably about half of it goes towards the different lawyer fees, because as again, there's a lot of people don't know. And we found out like there's different steps towards becoming a citizen. So there's like the sponsorship for a green card, which gives permanent residency. And then there's like the U.S. citizenship and naturalization process that comes years after you get the permanent residency. And both of those are pretty big expenses and, you know, require a lawyer.
Right.
But just doing the campaign's been really good because we've had people reach out and make donations, but also because we do live in the DMV and the DC area, I've had people tell me like, you know, when you guys are ready and you have all the paperwork and everything is in order, let's go to the state senators and the state Congress people, write them letters. And people have said, you know, like we can help you reach out to them and their assistants. And it turns out that like they have influence over like, I forget what the office is called, but like, let's just say Immigration and Naturalization Office. I think they changed it recently, but we can actually have our state representatives reach out to those people and say, hey, you know, we want you guys to approve this person's application. And we didn't even know that. You know, we would have never known to like write them letters and, you know, pull up on them somewhere where they're shaking hands and kissing babies and say, hey, shake our hand, you know, and talk to us about these different things. So that's, again, like just doing it has been super like motivational, and like the response we've gotten and the people saying, you know, when my wife went through this process, this is the lawyer we used. Here's the information. Tell them we sent you. You know, when you guys have all your paperwork in order, let's reach out to the senators and the Congress people from your state. And, you know, just even like that kind of help and support has been real just uplifting and like kind of, you know, makes us feel like less like we're on an island and more like we're part of like a community and a team of people. So that even just doing the campaign has been good. And a big part of that was you and Shell, you know, giving us that information that empowered us to feel comfortable doing it, because a big part of it is like you're scared to publicly talk about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I think about how long ago it was when I met Liz and how many different times we've talked like prior to you letting me know that all of this stuff was going on, and I had no idea. And so, you know, I just wanted to make sure that we did whatever we could to just help out. You know what I mean? You know, that's been kind of the gift in these skills that we've developed over the years. There's been a few times where, you know, most of it has just been helping people with their careers, but then there's been a few times, unfortunately, the first time was when my great nephew was on the verge of passing away. And, you know, we had an opportunity to use our skills to help my niece, you know, like lighten her load and whatever. And so it's unfortunate that you know, a lot of times we got to step in and try to help these folks we care about, like y'all, when this stuff is going on. But I'm grateful that I have developed these skills and can put them to use outside of just helping people make art and music, which we know is helpful in its own way, but this stuff is important. And, you know, and the reason why when I introduced y'all, the reason why I said y'all campaign and not Liz's campaign, because this affects you. You know what I mean? Like y'all are, the moment y'all decided that, you know, y'all were going to live together, get engaged, yeah, you know, she's the family you chose, you know what I mean? So, and y'all are building a life together. So this is y'all campaign, even though it's directly connected to a struggle that she's going through. And this is crazy too, because how long have you been here, Liz? You've been here since you were young.
Since I was 8 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
America's basically all I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man, we're gonna keep fighting and keep pushing, and doing what we can to support you guys. And to everybody listening, to all my fans and supporters, look, you know, y'all have been super awesome over the years, supporting what I do. These are folks I care about, and I just want do what I can to support them. If y'all have the ability to donate a little something, please do. You know, it's I'm sure they'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, you know, I would as well. And bare minimum, if you can share it, that would be great. And if you have loved ones too that have gone through something similar, when you share it, tell your story. Tell people, tell the story of some of the people you cared about who've gone through something similar. Because I know some of y'all are aware of these situations too. So that's important.
That's been the cool part too, is people reaching out and being like, you know, my wife or my sister or you know what I mean, different people that have been through the same thing that I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that's been a cool part of doing this publicly as well, is that solidarity. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I know folks who've been, you know, people who were, there's one person I'm thinking of right now who was unsuccessful getting her stuff together and was sent back. Literally, like, I haven't seen this person in years. You know, so like I know what it looks like when folks aren't able to make this happen, and I definitely don't want that for you guys. So we're gonna do what we can to support. And again, thank y'all for making time, and thank you to anybody who's watching or listening, considering donating as well.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course, family.
Real quick story to segue into, you know, the rest of the stuff you're gonna talk about, just so y'all know, like, me and Substantial are really, you know, friends and co-workers, whatever you want to call it. I was in Austin in March at a show, and the DJ was spinning videos along with the audio, and I heard a familiar voice, and I turn around and see Substantial up on this big screen at this, you know, show in Austin, Texas. And, you know, I was on the mic hosting, and I just, you know, shouted out Substantial and DC, the DMV, and, you know, just everywhere I go musically, even before I ever met him, I heard his music, and, you know, I'm in a different state and I hear Substantial and see Substantial on a screen. So, you know, that's just how, you know, the universe works and connected we really are, even when we're not, like, in a room together. So I appreciate you, fam.
Yeah, likewise, bro. Likewise, man. You just reminded me I got to hit up Notion. I ran somewhere and then I lost the paper I wrote it on. So I got to hit up my mans. But yeah, man. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great one, and we're going to keep fighting for y'all, man. All right?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all be good.
You too.
Peace. Yeah, man. So again, yo, thanks to everybody who's you know, shared it, considering sharing. Sorry if there's a lag again with the video thing. It's something I'm trying to resolve. I'll do my best to fix that. But yeah, man, thank y'all for listening. I know that was a bit different than how we typically do Substantial Weekly, but you know, what's the point of having these platforms and you know, having the network and having an audience if you're not going to share you know, important things with your audience that could potentially make a difference in people's lives, man. And so, you know, I do what I can to support those who supported me or support like different causes I care about and stuff over the years. And so, you know, I hope you all will consider donating to their campaign if you have the ability to do so. On that note, we're going to keep it moving. Basically, couple things. So just to talk about some music stuff, what's happening right now, I'm currently working on my album Adulting. That will be my 5th solo album. Obviously, I've dropped far more than 5 albums over the years, but in terms of full-length LPs, this will be my fifth solo LP. So hard at work at that. On that, it's coming together great. I'm really proud of how the production sounding so far. Started working on a new song this past week, which is it's pretty dope. I'm excited about that. And what I wanted to ask you guys, because I am considering doing a Kickstarter campaign, because honestly, pre-orders and doing a crowdfunding campaign are very similar, right? Although in a lot of cases with pre-orders, a lot of times the order may have already been put in for the stuff to come in. But then some people do their pre-orders way in advance because they're ultimately trying to see trying to get an idea of how much support they're going to garner for it. And so what I want to know from you guys are what are some of the things you'd like to see in a Kickstarter campaign? Like, obviously I'm more than likely going to do a vinyl version of it. CDs don't sell the way they used to, but if there's enough people interested in the CD, that's a possibility. Of course, I'll do what I can to make it as fancy as the budget allows, so you feel like it's a good investment. Considering doing cassettes again. Cassettes, I normally don't get as many orders for cassettes, but I know people have asked a lot about cassettes over the last year. So let me know what medium you would like it in. Obviously, it'll be digital, but I'm also considering what different type of merch to have. Bringing back snapbacks and stuff like that. Possibly some stuff with the design under the brim. But yeah, man, other stuff I'm considering adding to the campaign, obviously t-shirts, other types of merch, like maybe some enamel pins with the Substantial logo, or like, of the design. Oh, and just to give y'all heads up, for those of you who've seen the art for, what's it called? The art for the single Beautiful Work. Any of you who've seen that, that is the artist who I am commissioning to do the cover for the album. So again, if you like the cover for Beautiful Work, then you'll be happy to know that that brother is actually going to be working on, he's going to be working on the album cover. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll put it up here in a second. Let's check out some of these comments. A wild cassette would be cool for sure. All right, shout out to my folks watching on Twitch and the folks watching on Facebook. Vinyl would be great, says Zeo Crisis. Okay. Says Stan, are you ever going to put some of your older albums on vinyl? Of course. My album Sacrifice, which is my second album, that's actually available on vinyl right now. And so I believe the bot has been dropping links to the merch. So in case you missed it, yes, subartandmusic.com/store is where some of my vinyl is available. And then also substantial.bandcamp.com/merch. So I do have my second album available on vinyl. My fourth album is still available on vinyl. The past is always present in the future. And then, of course, the latest album is available on vinyl. But my first album was available on vinyl, but it sold out. So I'm going to tell you like this, folks. If you're a person who doesn't have one of the LPs that I just listed on vinyl, and you're a person that wants to have my stuff on vinyl, do not wait. Do not wait to get it. Because what's going to end up happening is once it sells out for me, it's usually a while before I repress them. I don't go to repress them immediately after they sell out because there's usually not enough demand for it. So I wait until enough people are requesting for it, and then I consider putting it on vinyl again, So just to give you heads up. Word. Ice Killer said it's about to be his best album cover. Man, I'm feeling like it might be. It might be. He just started working on it. I gave him some ideas. I have not seen what he's sketching right now, but just from the conversations, it is going to have a similar feel to the Beautiful Work cover. So just to kind of give you somewhat of an idea. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen in a second. But if you like the Beautiful Work cover, then just know it's definitely going to have that feel. I figured that something, that vibe, that look is something we want to continue. Yeah, man. And so for those of you who have not seen what the Beautiful Work cover looks like, I will bring that up on the screen right now. Hold on. Yeah, so this is what Beautiful Work looks like. Well, this is actually like an edited version of it, but that's the overall look of it. So if you love what that cover art looked like, then just know that it's definitely going to be that vibe. Shout out to Claudette. You are very welcome. I hope you enjoy. So look, I do have events coming up. For those of you in the DMV, I will be at Up and Up next. When's that? That is going to be next Thursday. So I will be at Up and Up, just doing a quick guest spot, maybe a song and a half or something. So if you're in the DMV area, in the DC area, come through. That's going to be great. Link should be in the description of this video. After that, a week after that, for those of you who are in the area and attend Prince George's Community College, if you're a student or staff over at PGCC, then come check me out. I will be there Thursday from 1 p.m. to 5, but it's for students and staff only. So I can't share the flyer publicly because it's only for staff and students. But I will be there with the homies Words, Beats, and Life. That will be happening on April 21st. Also happening on April 21st, more details coming soon. Steph, yes, UAU is still happening, absolutely, and it's coming back next Thursday. Link should be in the description of the video. Definitely hope to see you there. I'm planning on doing Say Less. I'm gonna try it out with the band, see how that go, and maybe spit a acapella or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. And so also on April 21st. Me and my wife, for Substantial Art and Music, we are doing a music marketing workshop, which will be happening, I believe, from 7 to 9 p.m. And so for those of you interested in learning more about the music industry, how to pitch your music to editorial playlists, how to basically better monetize your music, and a long list of other things, how to create an EPK, all of these different things we're going to be discussing on April 21st. You can look up creativesuitland.org, sign up for their mailing list, or you can sign up for Sub Art and Music's mailing list at subartandmusic.com. More info should be coming at the top of next week. But that is going to be happening soon, too. All right, let's check out and see what Ice Killer's talking about real quick. Hold on. And because I like this cover so much, we're going to keep that on the screen. It says, if you end up going the Kickstarter way, I'd love to see a deluxe edition stretch goal or something. Yeah, why not? So I think I definitely want to do some type of deluxe edition. The deluxe edition that I likely will do it'll feature some of the songs that I originally recorded with the LP in mind, but ultimately put them on other projects. So for example, What I've Been Saying was actually recorded for Adulting. And then so was the song Make It Home. Both of those songs were recorded for Adulting specifically. Originally Say Less was written for Adulting until Funky DL remixed it. And then we decided to go a different route. So tracks like those, even Your Greatest Weapon, to keep it a buck, when I made that beat, I was making it specifically for Animal Arithmetic, which, by the way, is available right now. Link also in the description of this video. But yeah, I was making it for that album. However, the moment I finished making that beat, before I even sent it to Malcolm Jackson, I was like, I don't know. I feel like this should be on Adulting. So shout out to Katie Fox, because keep it a buck with you. I almost kept Your Greatest Weapon for the LP. So I'm considering, if I do a deluxe edition, to add it there, because it was very hard making the decision to put it on put Your Greatest Weapon on Animal Arithmetic. But I basically, because I knew I was creating it and writing it specifically for that project, I was like, regardless of how good it is, I'm gonna, that's the way I started. So I'm gonna ride that out. And so to let you know my train of thought and how it works when I'm making music, a lot of times, I think when I was younger in my career, I would have these moments where I would consider, like if I made a certain song, I sometimes would get scared. Like if I thought the song was really, really great and people were reacting to it really strong, I had these feelings like, oh man, this is going to be something big, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this fear that if you're making it and say it's going on a particular thing and not your album, it's almost like you're scared that you won't be able to make anything better than this, right? And I basically learned to let that go because there was a song I made years ago called Barbecue. Barbecue was originally made and supposed to be on Sacrifice. And I honestly thought that from a commercial standpoint, I didn't make it to be a commercial song. I actually wrote that song for what was it? I wrote for different purposes, and it ended up being used in an actual play that a little kid was an aspiring rapper, and his family had a family get together or a family reunion, and he ended up performing that song at the family reunion. So I licensed that song to the small off-Broadway play, and they actually used that song many years ago in the play with a small kid rapping that song. So anyway, I really felt like that song was going to be a big thing. I felt like, man, if it got in the right hands and I somehow put this, put some money behind this could be a commercial success. Needless to say, it's not even one of my most listened to songs, right? And that was a teachable moment for me. It was one of those moments where it's like I really thought this was going to be really big, and ended up not being big at all, and virtually being one of the few songs in not one of the few songs, but one of many songs in my catalog that really isn't as popular as other songs I've done. And so in that moment, I just kind of let go of this idea that somehow just because I felt like this song was special and it was going to be big and blah, 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 that I couldn't then make something that could top that, or I should only hold it for this thing and not use it for that. I basically just stopped playing those games and stopped stressing myself in that way. And I'm just like, I'm just going to make music and have fun making the music. And if it becomes a thing, great. If it doesn't, I'm the only one that ends up appreciating it. Great. Right. Like, I mean, I'm good either way. And so, yeah, man, that's really how I've been moving forward, Let's see. The song is spelled out BBQ. Yep. Ice Killer. Thank you, Warpath. All right. Let's see. Shun has a question, and shout out to everybody watching, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. When is your next album coming out? My goal is to get the album out by the summertime, right? So as of right now, it may end up being late summer, okay? Because I still got to fundraise for it, and obviously I got to finish the music. But yeah, man, it's sounding production wise, it's sounding pretty good right now, and I'm excited, man. I just got to finish writing and recording, and then mixing. Artwork is currently being worked on. We already have a logo for it too, which is exciting. Maybe I'll debut that in a couple weeks after I get a couple more songs done. And yeah, man, so the goal is summertime, you know. I'll keep you posted. Let's see. Let's start our Q&A since folks are asking questions. Yeah, I mean, might as well. All right, so if you have a question at this time, feel free to drop it in the chat. And I apologize for any delay, anything like that that's happening. Doing my best to resolve that issue behind the scenes. Let's see. And I will take this off the screen for now. Bang, bang. So let's see what we got over here. Well, that was weird. I took it off and then it added it back. Let me stop that completely. All right. So, yeah, man, Shun. I mean, that's the goal. Like I said, the goal is to get it out by the summer, but it may be early fall. But yeah, I plan on hitting the road this summer too. There's a couple conventions. Well, I start traveling in May actually. Next month we are in Atlanta. Me, IQ, and a couple other homies. I think Megaran will be there, so we'll be at MomoCon. Then where are we going next? I'll likely be at BlurCon. I don't know if I'm performing, but I'll definitely be at BlurCon. Otakon, we were supposed to be potentially performing there, but that might get delayed until 2023. There is a possibility I may be doing something overseas, but I'm keeping that under wraps until it's official. But there's something else that's in the works. And IQ and I have been talking about touring together. So I'll let you know once we secure some stuff. All right. Let's see. If you just heard a sound in the background, that was my stomach growling. So I will be rapping soon because your boy got to eat. I'm over here starving. Shout out to Steph for showing love to the Jill Scott remix of BBQ or Barbecue. I appreciate that. That's an underrated joint too. That whole Jack and Jill mixtape, man. Let's see. As a fellow artist, I can relate to that so much. Yes. All right. Oh, I see. Hey, shout out to Omar up in here. Good to see you, family. When is the next Bop Alloy tour? That I have no idea. You got to remember, Marcus D lives in Japan. And yeah, it's not cheap to get my brother to come on tour with me. So, like, you know, we find the circumstances, anything's possible. But just know that, you know, when we announce these shows, whether it's me or if it's both of us or if it's just him, it's important that y'all show up regardless, because, you know, when these shows that we do sometimes, some of them are popping and some aren't as big and don't necessarily do that well. But when we have those shows that don't necessarily do that well, you know, certain local people see that, including promoters and other people who we're trying to work with. And so when we don't get the turnout that we're looking to get, that sometimes makes it a bit more challenging to come back to that particular region. Because, you know, we're basically, whenever we have shows like that don't do so well, we take a loss. You know what I mean? That means especially in cases where we weren't paid to go out there, we actually booked the show ourselves. That means we came out of pocket to do it. And so y'all definitely, man, we appreciate y'all showing up and supporting when y'all are able to. It makes a huge difference. Word. So Warpath says, got a question up here. Stan, if you had a friend who doesn't like hip hop but wants to hear your music, what tracks would you show them? That is a great question. It depends. Like if they like instrumental music and jazz, obviously there's there's projects like The Garden. You know, and so you could play something like, you know, that track Beyond the Stage instrumental with Uyama Hiroto. If they are someone who doesn't mind vocals, then tracks like, if they are kind of more into chill music in general, then tracks like the original version of Beyond the Stage with the vocals, Even tracks like Your Greatest Weapon, I think, are good ones to play for them. Some of the Bop Alloy stuff as well. It really just kind of depends on what type of music they're into. And then also understanding what their reasons are for not liking hip hop. I'm not a person out there trying to convince everyone that hip hop is the best thing and you should be supporting it. Why you being whack, son, and not supporting hip hop? People sometimes have a very limited scope of what hip hop is. 9 times out of 10, when people say hip hop, they're really just talking about rap music. And rap music is not hip hop. Rap music is just a branch on the tree of hip hop, right? But it is not all encompassing of what hip hop represents. And then it's important to also acknowledge the fact that, when people say they don't like rap music, it's usually because they don't like a particular subject matter or particular sounds, right? And so when I understand what their taste is of music, I usually can find songs that I've done, because I've done a lot of different stuff. Even though people like the jazzier stuff that I've done stuff based in EDM. I've done the more jazz standard stuff. I've even rapped over like some stuff that's borderline classical. I've done a lot. So there's a lot to choose from. But I would say start with their musical taste. Start with also understanding what is it about hip hop or rap music specifically that they don't like. And then play something that's counter to what they believe it is. And that's usually how I get people to kind of expand their mind a bit. Let's see. Have you considered making a track with Mega Ran for adulting? Mega Ran and I have talked about collabing, but I haven't produced a track yet or come up with a concept yet that I think is a good fit. But definitely when I do, I will holler at him for sure. All right, because that's long overdue. You know what I mean? In my mind, it's still a possibility that someday him and I will make an EP and call it Mega Stand. You know what I mean? We're going to put that in the universe. Mega Stand EP. Substantial and Mega Ran, Substantial, Mega Stand. Bow. All right? Got hungry when someone brought up BQ. Super facts. No, BBQ. Barbecue. No lies detected. Yes, Kyle, you probably missed it when I said it, but yeah, I will be at the, hey, I just realized who you are, Kyle. Peace, fam. Good to see Richmond up in here repping. Yeah, I will be at the next Up and Up event, which is happening next Thursday, April 14th. The link should be in the description of the video, regardless to if you're watching on, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. It should be in the description. Thank you for the question, King. Let's see. Will you ever do a tour in Germany? Would love to see you live. So I'm going to correct your question and say, would I ever do a tour in Germany again? Because I have performed in Germany multiple times. I've actually toured Germany. I've done tours and gone through Germany not 3 different times, but 2 different times performing in 3 cities. Fun fact, my video, Follow the Master, was actually filmed in Germany. So yeah, would love to go back to Germany. Germany has always showed a lot of love. I've had some great shows there, both solo and with groups like Cunning Linguists. I actually went there with Marcus D the last time. Sean Beasy says, when Substantial wins, the whole hip-hop culture wins. Single thug tier. I appreciate that. Thank you, family. All right. Let's see what Ice Killer's talking about. Oh, man, if there's something that slightly triggers me, it's when people say they listen to everything. Man, do you know how many freaking types of music is out there? Right. No one listens to everything. No one listens to everything. Because the thing is, no one has the time to listen to everything. So there's something out there that regardless to what you like, there's something out there you don't like. You just probably haven't come across it yet. And the fact of the matter is, listening to it don't necessarily mean you like it. You know what I mean? It's important to acknowledge that. And there are definitely certain types of music, and not just certain types of music, there's certain sounds I don't like. Excuse me. One thing, right? Like if a person has an extremely annoying voice, there's certain rappers regardless of how good they are lyrically, how dope their flows are and stuff like that, depending on their pitch and their tone, I just can't enjoy it. And I can acknowledge how dope they are in other ways and how great the production is. I can accept all of those things, but depending on their tone, not so much accents. I can get into other accents and stuff, and I can listen to rap in other languages, but yeah, like tone of voice and flow. Like if you flow, because you're an instrument, and there are certain people who don't believe that rap itself is music. They view rap as like an application over music. But I disagree, because basically a great rap vocalist can use their voice. They can add melody if they choose to, or they can add tone and basically use it like a percussion play. It's like using your voice like a percussionist, like syncing with the rhythm and finding little pockets and stuff that basically accentuates the drums, right, and makes the music feel more interesting. Like, you all have heard a rap song before where when they kind of have one flow going, it makes you feel one way, but the moment they change and really gauge with the beat, really lock in with the beat, and they kind of keep it going for a certain period of time, it literally makes the swing and the feel of the music feel different. And that's what great instrumentalists can do, right? Someone can add on to another instrument that's playing and make that whole groove feel different. And so that's what a great rap vocalist can do if they are aware of the fact that their voice is an instrument and use it as such. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's see. Great answer. Yeah, I hate when people think all rap is Tiger, Lil Pump, Lil Yachty, etc. Right, because they only know mainstream or what's being covered. And what people they follow who crap on like hip hop, they basically talking about hip hop or rap music. Let's say it again, rap music. They're talking about rap music, and probably saying something about an artist they don't like. And then they take that and then they basically associate that with every rapper that has ever existed. It's the worst. Ice Killer, I agree. I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be dope. Mega Ran and I were doing an interview, and he laughed. Someone came up with that, and he laughed and said, "Hey, that's not a bad idea." So, hey, man, it's possible. Let's see. I've seen you and MD a number of times. That show, Omar, I remember you, bro. But unfortunately, have been able to get out to the East Coast. Any cons you making stops on the West Coast? Yeah, no cons yet for the West Coast. Definitely interested in getting out there sooner than later. West Coast is definitely probably my favorite region to tour in all the tours that I've done over the years. So no worries, man. We will be back out there. Nothing set up right now, but yeah, the last time Marcus and I was out there was 2019. And that was pre-pandemic. So that's the only reason why we haven't been back in a while. It's this pandemic. And let's see. A popular opinion. Unpopular opinion. I don't like the growls on metal songs most of the time. Word. Let's see. Yeah, y'all gonna hate me, but Kendrick doesn't have a rap voice I can stand. Dope lyricist, but it's way too high for. You know what's funny? So Kendrick, I love Kendrick's music, right? But there are certain deliveries that he chooses that, yeah, it's not always the most enjoyable. You know what I mean? And I can definitely acknowledge that. So when me and my boy, shout out to my man, brother Vic, when him and I were talking about Kendrick and we were having the Kendrick and J. Cole debate. J. Cole has a voice that is far more palatable, and he also has a delivery in general that is usually more palatable on songs. In other words, his songs are fairly catchy and easy to listen to in comparison to Kendrick. I feel like people who love Kendrick, like me, like you got to be a person who kind of loves musicians who experiment a lot and are a bit more patient when they sometimes do things that maybe aren't Maybe it's not necessarily the most enjoyable thing they could be doing at the moment, but you respect them for venturing out. But I do agree that he doesn't always have he doesn't always have the best voice. You know what I mean? So, hey, peace, Soul Tiger. It's all good, man. Good to see you here. Okay, I got one more good one. Let's see. So Stan, out of your favorite artists, which one would you just completely fanboy out and be overcome with excitement to collab with? You know what's crazy? And this is just keeping it a million, not even a buck, a million. I honestly don't know, because I've had really cool experiences meeting some artists over the years, and I've had terrible ones. So, like, you know, I think Chuck D was probably the last one of my heroes that I met in person. You know, one of my musical heroes. And the closest I came to fanboying out is just like really, probably like a couple awkward silence moments where it's just like, because I'm in my head because I'm remembering my childhood listening to this dude. And then I'm also processing the fact that this dude called me one of the great MCs of our time and said that with me present and my child present. And so, like, it was just a lot to take in. And it's funny, man. Our styles are so different. I don't think of him and think, man, it'd be great to collaborate with him. But just being in his presence was more than enough for me. So, like, and at this point, I've kind of checked out in terms of like working with people I don't know. I'm just more focused on collaborating with people I know personally. And so if I had a personal relationship with a bigger artist who I was a super fan of, it's funny, most of them wouldn't be rappers. It'd be like other types of artists. So like I'd probably fan out like for Minahan Street Band. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple different bands I listen to where I'd like to collaborate with those type of, I'd like those type of collaborations. It's not that I'm not interested in working with certain hip hop artists. It's just more so like if I don't know you like that, you know, then I've kind of just, yeah, man, I'd rather work with people I know, like who, you know, like just we got some type of connection outside of just, oh, your music's dope, we should do something. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm a super fan of Minahan Street Band. So if that ever happened, I've never really heard them work with any hip hop artists. So that'd be crazy. El Michelle's Affair, any of these live band, like these bands, Bad Bad Not Good, the ones that work with Mick Jenkins and Ghost, I'd definitely be down to work with them too. But they've done so much stuff with hip hop artists. I'd kind of want to do something with somebody with a musical band that has not worked with any hip hop artists yet. You know, just because I think it'd be interesting for both audiences. But yeah, all right, let's keep it moving. I'm gonna answer a few more. I'm sorry if there's still like a delay in the video and audio. My apologies. But yeah, let's see. Substantial Eclipse, the tune that introduced me to the soulful side of hip hop. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I'm honored. Let's see. Thank you for that. You know. All right. Omar says, I used to think that Kendrick had a bad voice until I listened to Pimp a Butterfly and my world changed. Yeah. It's funny. When I first listened to him, he sounded like a combination of, it was two different rappers that I heard when I listened to him. When I first heard him, I was like, man, he sounds like a more lyrical Will.i.am. And there was another artist I thought of too when I heard him do certain things with his voice. But I can't remember who it is. But it was two different rappers I heard when I heard him. And I was just like, thank God he's amazing lyrically, because I'm not 100% sold on his voice. That's how I felt when I first heard him. And then I got used to it and it wasn't so bad. But like somebody like, it took me a long time to get into, what's his name from Chicago? Like Chance the Rapper. Like people have been, you know, on Chance for a long time. And I heard his early work. I heard Acid Rap. And I didn't fall in love with this dude instantly because I did not like his voice. I was like, yo, I don't know if I can listen to a whole album of this. But one young rapper who does a lot of those things with his voice too, but I really love this dude's stuff, Saba, who's down with Chance the Rapper. Saba's fire. Saba's really, really dope. All right, let's see. Word. Nah, I feel you, Warpath. Yes, Steph. That is the song. You by Kendrick. Yeah, I can't. That's the only song on Pimp a Butterfly that I always skip. I always skip that joint. Let's see. So after Trinity, will there be a planned collab with Funky DL, Site-Star, and another live chat episode/video? Yeah, I don't know. I'll hit them up and, I mean, I'm always down to work with those brothers, man. I got nothing but love for them, man. Me and DL talk a bit more frequently than Sice and I, but Sice and I got nothing but love for each other too. I may see Sice over the summer if things pan out. But yeah, I don't know how likely. I don't have a track in mind right now for the album to get either one of them on. And I know DL's been super busy because we've been talking about some other things, and I mentioned some things to him, and he's just really busy right now. So anything's possible. I mean, I would love to do an EP with these brothers, man. I think an EP or LP with us would all be really, really dope. But I just know time-wise, I don't think they have the time to do it. And not for nothing, we've done a couple collabs over the years that I think are amazing and really exciting. And truthfully, like, I thought that the fans would respond to them a bit stronger and maybe they would probably do a bit better. And like, some of them get love, and then a lot of them have just kind of been like, oh, this probably does as well as any average song that we've done. And that's a little disappointing because, as much as people ask me about it, you would think that when they get it, they'd be a bit more excited about it. But I would say it's the excitement in which people talk about it versus how they support it. It don't measure up. Like, it's and so again, I'm down to do it just because I love them dudes and they're the homies and they're dope. So I'm still down to do it. But I think, in our minds, like, we think just from a business standpoint, outside of the personal love that we have for each other, you would expect something that requires that type of work and time that the fans ask us about so frequently would get a lot more love and burn. But a lot of times it's lukewarm, man, the support that we get for those collabs. So that can be a little disappointing sometimes. But I mean, overall, those songs still do pretty good. But just, I think in terms of our expectations, like, we expected a bit more because it's one of us. It's all three together. But we all have individual songs that, a lot of our individual songs that outdo our collaborations, and one would think it'd be the other way around. So yeah, collab with Royce the 5'9" would be crazy for me. Hey, listen, I am a super Royce fan, and I think a lot of people don't know how lyrical I can be, and it's partly because I just don't always feel the need to do that all the time, just because, like, not every track calls for it, right? Like, creatively. And then from a business standpoint, the funny thing is, I love making those type of tracks, but from a business standpoint, strictly from a business standpoint, those songs don't perform as well for me as other music does, So so I could easily make a whole album of me just going super lyrical, which I would love to do. But there's been a lot of times where I put out those more lyrical tracks, they don't always get the response. But my introspective, just kind of coasting on the track, talking about life, more poetic than trying to be super lyrical per se. Those things typically, I don't know, I guess they're more palatable for my audience, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'd love to hop on a track with Royce. Royce is amazing, but I don't know him personally, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of human being he is. I don't know if he'd rock with me, vice versa, but I think he's dope, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh man, a bunch of stuff popped in. I went to click on one thing and then something else popped up. So I was going to click on something. Okay, wait, I got one more in me. Stan, what's your favorite way to unwind and relax? Binge watching any show that I love is usually how I unwind. I love cooking as well, man. Like, I think I was in the kitchen yesterday for like 2.5, almost 3 hours. After my wife went and grabbed groceries while I hung back with my oldest daughter, helping her with the YouTube stuff. And then when she came back, I put everything away, which took a bit of time, did the dishes, and then started prepping for dinner, which just the dinner portion of me prepping took like 2 hours, man, because I made like salmon cakes, but I didn't have pre-made crumbs, so I dried out some bread over, crumbled it. Like, I basically did everything from scratch, you know what I mean? Picked the bones out of the salmon, all of that, and then made salmon cakes. Did some cheddar bay biscuits, Red Lobster style or whatever, from scratch, and some garlic kale with a little bit of soy sauce. So yeah, dinner was, and I made like fresh lemonade from scratch, you know what I mean? Like, so not, pre-made or whatever, like cutting up the lemons, squeezing them myself, the whole night. So I love cooking, man. I throw down. So that's some of my favorite ways to unwind. Movies, watching movies. I love movies and certain television shows and stuff. It's just my way to escape and just enjoy other people's art, But yeah, let's see. Oh, yes. Hey, Blackheart. I'm super familiar with them. I always mess up the name, so I'm not even going to try to say it, but they are fire, and I would love to do something with them for sure. Yeah, they're super dope. I like the stuff they do with Leon Bridges too. Hey, man, look, Stevie, like, Stan, I've been thinking about it for a while. This is what we could do. It'd be fire, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, you're right, Stevie. I would totally lose my mind if I got the opportunity to do something with Stevie Wonder. So thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. I have kind of that dilemma with Jadena. I think he's a great artist, but I can't rock with his delivery sometimes. Word, I feel you on that. Word, Sice's verse on No Better Time is crazy. I 100% agree. But it is what it is. Let's see. Blackheart says, you don't want no problems by chance, reeks of drunk uncle energy that Yo, hey man, listen, you feel my pain. I'm still playing catch up, so bear with me. Hey, peace, what's going on, Bob? Good to see you up in here, brother. All right. Visual musician, top of the list. Word. Wait, I got one more. Got that one already. Hey, peace, CM. Good to see you up in here, brother. CM, I feel you. With the cooking, this is how we do it in my house. And see, I don't know if you're in a relationship or not right now, but I know in my house how we typically do it is whoever cooks, if one person cooks, the other cleans, right? So like on nights when my wife cooks, then she cleans. Nights when my wife cook, on nights where I cook, my wife cleans. So that's how we handle that. My daughter, my oldest, the one who puts away the dishes after the stuff has been cleaned, and dries. So that's how we manage that. No one is expected to do it all. If I was single, I'd probably be ordering out almost every day just so I don't have to do dishes after I cook. Because, yeah, man, that's the worst. And I used to have a job back in the day when I was still a teen where I was a busboy and I washed dishes at a retirement home. Yeah, trash, B. It's not. Look, every time I wash dishes, I think about working there, and I'm like, yeah, it reminds me how much I hate washing dishes. I actually had an immature moment on social media a very long time ago where one of my friends definitely judged me. But I was just like, man, I hate washing dishes so much. I'd much rather just throw them at the wall, break them, and throw them away then do them. Like, I hate doing dishes that much. I really don't enjoy it at all. Shout out to dishwashers, lifesavers. So anyway, appreciate the answers, Stan. The late great Nugent Best introduced me to you, Funky DL and Sight Star from Metaphorical Music and Modal Soul, and obviously Samurai Champ Blue. That's love. Word. Appreciate you, Soul Tiger. Wow, didn't expect that. That's awesome, man. More power to you. Stan's in the kitchen cooking. EP in the works. Man, always cooking up something, you know. Let's see. Chef Stanchel. That was so bad. It was pretty bad. But I'm gonna let it slide. I'll allow it. All right. Let's see. Bruh, you clean as you're cooking. Yeah, no doubt. There are certain times that what I try to do, like on certain nights, I just try to like put certain things away. But it depends, right? Like if it's one of my nights where a lot of the stuff I'm making is from scratch, there's no way I'm cleaning while I'm cooking because I will be in there for 3 hours, maybe 4. And just because there's so many different things that I'm using, you know, and then sometimes I'm wearing gloves and doing certain things so I don't transfer like certain raw, the things that are like maybe raw fish or something like that, and then go working on something else where those two things shouldn't be mixing. So yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But anyway, folks, that's the time for the day, man. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties today. Before we go, I just wanted to post one last reminder for those of you who hung in there with me, to please consider supporting my friends, Sean and Liz. They are good folks, man. This is their campaign. Please support them if you can. Here is the link. Right there. Thank y'all again for watching, man. Adulting it's coming together. I thought about playing a little sample of something for you today, but it's unfinished. I kind of want to do some more things for it first. So maybe next week I'll have something, a little snippet to play for y'all. Stay tuned and all that good stuff, man. But thank y'all again for watching. I'll see you soon, but talk to you sooner. Peace, y'all. Take care. All right.